Hello, Super Sunday. We are back. Super Sunday edition. Move the Chains podcast. How are we doing, everybody? It is a gorgeous, cold, beautiful, snow-filled day. I cannot wait. We got 3 more triple header games today. Can I get a hell yeah? You can. And I'll tell you what, I'm not feeling as good as I am this morning about the Chargers because I picked them yesterday, and boy, was I wrong. I'll get to them in a second. But man, what a great day of football yesterday. A lot of blowouts yesterday. Um, you know, some teams that just should have been there for participation trophies. Sure felt like that. Early on, didn't feel like that with the Chargers, but I'll get to them in a second. But I want to start with the Chargers. So, Chargers lost badly yesterday, and I know Raider fans, I'm repping them today. I've seen all the memes, all the tweets, 0 rings. Everybody else in the divisions won them. I get it. However, I didn't know what that was yesterday. You know? Excuse me. But that was bad yesterday. And I've been saying this all year long. To me, with the Chargers, they're a year away. And clearly, it showed yesterday. They are a year away. And they missed opportunities yesterday. Dropped passes, tipped balls. Just didn't feel in sync yesterday. And, you know, I was watching one of my old-time favorite Sandler movies, Click, yesterday. You know, half and half, sad and good. But I was watching that yesterday, and I kind of had the game on. I was kind of flipping back and forth. Jennifer Coolidge is a trip, I will say that. Love juice. It never gets old. However, I'll get back to the topic. So, Chargers looked awful. And listen, can we stop with the Herbert slander? He can't play. Stop it. I know he's 0-2 in the playoffs. I know. He's a bum. I know. He broke rookie records, but he didn't get the playoffs. I know. He's a bum. Hold up. Okay. Peyton Manning was 0-4 to start his career in the playoffs. Okay? Lamar Jackson's won 2 MVPs, and he's now 3-4 after that win. Dominating win last night against Pittsburgh again, and I'll get to them later. I'm going to unload. But this league's fucking hard. It's baby steps league, okay? He just got Harbaugh, an elite coach. Imagine if he got Harbaugh 4 years ago, or it'll be 5 now. But you know what I mean. He didn't. He had to sit and scrap with shit. And now he's got an elite guy. Now, this is what Harbaugh does, okay? The 2 teams that he took over, and this is incredible. This is why Harbaugh is one of the best coaches that I've ever seen that can go college, pro, go back to college, and then revert back to the NFL. Jimmy Johnson, Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh. Short list. And he's great at this. Okay? Excuse me. However, this offseason, they got to go do some changes. They need playmakers bad. I love Ladd McConkey. He is going to be a Wes Welker, Julian Edelman slot machine, and he is a stud. Stud. And I love Ladd McConkey. He caught a touchdown against my Raiders week 1, and he's been dominant all year long. He's a great player. Great player. Quentin Johnston has the drops, but every once in a while he'll catch one and he'll get a touchdown. Okay? And Will Dissly's not a bad tight end. That drop yesterday, should have caught it. You know, Herbert was a little pressured against that very, very good Houston defense. I'll get to Houston in a second because I'm going to give them their flowers too. But man, the Chargers yesterday, they had that game early. And I thought in my head, I went, Houston's going to be one and done. This Houston team's been bad all year. And then I thought the Chargers, okay, 6-0, they're running the ball. They're grounded on the Texans with the undersized defensive line. But then they just reverted back to the Chargers. And I will say it is a different Charger team in terms of, okay, they don't choke like they were. But this Charger team's going to be fine. They are a year away, though. And Herbert had an off game. This happens in the playoffs. Okay? A couple of years ago, it wasn't his fault that they blew a lead against Jacksonville when they were up 27-0. That was Brandon Staley. That was the defense. And I get the offense and do shit in the second half. We can blame Herbert all day, and I get it. But I can't this morning blame the defense for what happened. Yesterday was solely on Herbert because those picks that he threw yesterday, and at one point in the game, CJ Stroud threw a pick, and then it was like 2 plays later, he threw a pick. So it's like the Oprah Winfrey show. You get an interception, you get an interception, you get an interception. It was bonkers. Excuse me. And I'm watching, and then it all of a sudden flipped. And I kind of knew that game kind of turned in Texans' favor when it was 6-0 Chargers, got momentum, and then C.J. Stroud started picking shit up. They had a busted play. Then went to Hutchinson. I think he's I don't even know who he is, a receiver like 5th on the depth chart, because all they have is Nico Collins out there, who when he has his strides and he's running looks like T.O., and he's got like this body type like Mike Evans. He's just a rare specimen of speed, strength that I've seen. And he went to Michigan. Shout out to Derek Solomon, my guy. I love you, bro. But my point is that I'm watching yesterday, and it's just the Chargers. This is on Herbert yesterday. But do I blame Herbert for his bad performance? Absolutely. No question. But I also think they need more speed, man. They need some guys on the perimeter, because they have the run game set. I'm not worried about that. Their offensive line got manhandled yesterday, and that's a very, very good Texans defense. I'm not disputing that. Joe Alt had his struggles. He's a rookie. This happens in this league. I'm not blaming him, okay? Sean Slater's a very, very good player. But at times he was in and out of that lineup. So, or maybe he might have been healthy. I can't remember. So, but my point is, they're this close, man. And they're the one team in that division that can play with the Chiefs tough, because they got one guy on any given Sunday, take out yesterday, then go toe-to-toe with Mahomes, mano y mano. So don't sleep on the Chargers. They're going to be okay. They're a year away. Like I mentioned, they need more speed on the perimeter badly. They need playmakers. I know Harbaugh, that's not his forte, but go free agency market and maybe test the waters. If they get a T. Higgins type or they get somebody like that, watch out, because now you got a slot guy in McConkey, and you had a perimeter guy like with Josh Palmer, with DJ Chark, who's a nice compliment, and then you had Will Dissly. Now you got something to work with Herbert, and now it's not, hey, Herbert, come save us, put Superman cape on. So that's all my Charger take. I want to slip over to the Texans. So for the second year in a row, they kind of grimy, they kind of fight, and they grind, and they tough, and they're rugged, and they get in. And it feels like last year, because the way the weapons are for C.J. Stroud, and listen, C.J. Stroud's had a rookie slump a little bit. Not to his fault. First year, I've always heard this from players and coaches. You know, when you come in as a rookie, nobody's got tape on you. Okay, they catch you off guard. You do some unbelievable shit, and he did last year. But then second year comes around, these defense coordinators get tape on you. Start figuring out, how do we disrupt them? How do we, get in his head a little bit? And I saw that most of the parts this year with CJ. But there's no doubt in my mind, Houston has found their guy. He's tough. He's a grinder. He's a gamer. There's no bullshit with him. I got no problems off the field. This guy fits the Texans. And I will say this with D'Amico. That guy is a rock star head coach. You guys, Houston fans, should thank you, because you got your coach for the next decade and your quarterback. Because there were times yesterday where he put that team on his back. Now, he did have help from Joe Mixon, no question. That's been one of the best free agent signings this offseason, second to Derrick Henry in Baltimore. And Bengals sure do fucking miss him. Good job, Bengals. But I'm impressed with this Houston team because of one word, and I'm going to get to this. Battle tested. Because all year long, this team's been kind of scraping, kind of clawing, kind of not sure what we're getting. And then they turned that switch yesterday. And early on, and I mentioned this with the Chargers at the top, they struggled yesterday early on in that game. Because I thought Chargers were going to run away with that. But nope. C.J. Stroud kept fighting, kept grinding, kept fighting. And that defense, especially that front seven, man, they got dudes everywhere. Derek Stingley, the corner. I mean, how good is he? I mean, we all talk about Sauce Gardner being the top corner. I put that guy the best corner in football to me. I thought Jair, but he's always fucking hurt. We never know when he's playing. Sauce Gardner's good, but he doesn't want to tackle anybody. And I'm watching Derek Stingley yesterday take on whatever the Chargers have at receiver. It's not much. Excuse me. And he just manhandled them yesterday with the 2 picks. And listen, I remember watching him at LSU. And that 2019 tape was phenomenal. And it was. Now, I got beat a couple times. That's okay. But then the 2021 tape, you kind of went, yikes, God help us. And he's so much improved since then. Or no, he was in college 1920. Okay, so he was in, okay. Because he got drafted 22. I keep forgetting. 21 or 22, I can't remember. So he has looked so good. And I think he's a star in this league. And then they got the linebacking core is decent. You have your pass rushers, Willie Anderson and Autry inside and Mario Williams. This team is just stacked with defensive talent. Hell, the other corner, Kamari Lassiter, that guy's a stud. And where did he come from? Georgia. Winning fucking programs, baby. Ohio State, Georgia, Bama. Pow! That's what you do. You get winners from winning programs. Way to go, Nick Caserio. Way to go. And you got some winners now. And I'm happy for C.J. Stroud. Now listen, here's the thing, Texans. Whatever happens next weekend, we don't know what's going to happen. I got to see the matchup, and we'll see what happens there. But I will say this right now. You have to, and I mean have to, address the offensive line. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The one thing I have issues with you guys, you got to address the offensive line. Because you're going to get Stig Diggs back. You're going to get Tank Dell back. You're going to have Nico Collins. You're going to have Dalton Schultz. I forgot about him. He was a stud yesterday, too. So now you need to put this fortress around him in Houston. Because you cannot live another David Carr movie. Because he got sacked way too much, and it hurt his confidence, and it shot him. Derek Carr's older brother, David. So that's my one knock on Houston. Everything else, they are just an awesome team to watch. And I got to be honest, I love watching their pass game. They are, them in Detroit. Now, again, they don't have the Detroit talent, obviously, of the O-line and all that. But I'm saying you can put Nico Collins, J-Mo, watch out. Because you get Nico into the slot, and they move him around so much. Bobby Sloak does a tremendous job, the offensive coordinator, moving those guys around. And this was a redemption game for him yesterday because they've kind of had some question marks with Bobby Sloak being the boy wonder, getting these jobs, so on and so forth in the league. Whether he's up for it or not, I don't know. But he was just a hot name last year because of what he did with C.J. Stroud. And it was just cool to watch yesterday with Houston. So Houston moves on. They're battle-tested. I respect the hell out of their coach, quarterback. Their GM's excellent. Now go get offensive line. Okay, so the second game I wanted to get to was an absolute beatdown last night. And one of my against the spread blazing 3 picks, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, rivalry game. They've met, I can't believe this, with John Harbaugh, and Mike Tomlin. 38 times. Wow. Whoo! Long time, brother. But yesterday, Baltimore, once again, flexed their muscles in Baltimore against the Pittsburgh. And like on schedule, like on cue, ding, 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 beep. They got one exited out again. And I had a couple takeaways this morning. I was in and out watching games yesterday, like I mentioned. So I finally watched the Charger all the way highlights, and then I watched Baltimore this morning. I got up really early. And I just got one thing to say with Baltimore. Salute. Max Lawson, I'm shouting out to you, brother. I love you. You're my guy, Jim Bro. But your Ravens kick ass, man. And I give you a shout out because I was so happy last night you guys beat Pittsburgh and beat them badly last night. Woo! I was so happy last night. And I just am so in love with this team, Lamar, their culture, their toughness. They feel like a tough team. They're like the bullies on the block, man. And I was loving that last night. And God, what an addition Derrick Henry's been. You know, it's funny. I saw a quote this morning. This was after the game. And by the way, that vaunted Pittsburgh defense, 267 yards rushing? Holy shit. Woo! Damn. That's damn like when you see a hot chick. Damn. Woo! And I saw a quote this morning, and it said, go outside and try and tackle a car. That's Derrick Henry. And then it says, that motorcycle that sped by your body, that was Lamar Jackson. And it's true. Because that's what that game was last night. It was rough. It was physical. It felt like an AFC North battle last night. Baltimore was 21-0. Then Pittsburgh kind of made a fight and came back. And then you just saw them pull away. And I kind of knew it was over when Derrick Henry burst off that big run. What an impressive job last night by Baltimore. They move on. And Pittsburgh, We'll get to you right now. You got some answers right now. And you got to find yourself, man. What the fuck was that effort last night? You just got thrown around by a rag doll. And you're the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers, damn it. My whole life, you've been a physical football team. Physical football team. You're the bullies, man. Well, I'll give you something. You fucked around and found out last night thinking you were the toughest motherfucker on the block. You got your ass beat. Again. Shame on you. That whole coaching staff has got to go this morning. This quarterback room's a joke. I get they have had a hard time finding one since post Big Ben. I get it. But this offensive ineptitude is pathetic. I'm watching these play calls last night. It's 3rd and fucking 18. You go 9-yard curl route? What are we doing? Pittsburgh's got good players. And the message defensively is not getting through these players. And I'm saying this, and I'll say it once again. It's time to move on from Mike Tomlin. He's had a nice run. Andy Reid's been fired. Pete Carroll's been fired. Bill Belichick got fired. He ain't untouchable, homie. It's time to go. I'm tired of this, man. And this team is just so dysfunctional, it feels like. And in these big games, I mean, I'm looking at these box scores. I looked at this morning. 28-0 at home to Cleveland. 28-10 to Jacksonville's first year in the playoffs, if anybody remembers that. I mean, this team is just so... They need some juice, man. They need a new coach. It's time to move on. Shame on you, Pittsburgh. You looked like a joke last night. I was ashamed to watch that game from a consumer because of how shitty Pittsburgh once again looks. And I'm tired of hearing with the Steelers. The standard. You know what your standard is? You suck. Bottom line. Shame on you. Nobody gives a rat's ass that you keep going 10-7, 10-7, 10-7. Yippee. For what? To get bounced again? This is a proud franchise, man. The standard Super Bowl. And you're not showing it. Stop getting content. Get uncomfortable, Pittsburgh, and fire the coach, damn it. I'm sick of it, man. And I don't get these organizations. You know, I've been saying this for a little bit this year. Green Bay, they're like Pittsburgh. Small market, big fan bases, probably the 2 biggest in football. Green Bay, we can poke at them all day. They make changes to coaches. Mike Holmgren, now he obviously left for Seattle, but he moved on. They had him for 8 years. Mike McCarthy, hey, we appreciate your services. You got a Super Bowl. Time to go. They did. And LaFleur probably be the same way. So, Pittsburgh, man, they're in no man's land. They're in neutral right now. And they need to put that foot on the gas, and they need to go fucking down that highway and yeet, man, and beep, go. Because you got to do some changing, brother. This is just bad. So, that's all I wanted to talk about today. What a trifecta of games today. My brother's getting the Bronco game ready. Packers, Eagles, and then Buccaneers, Commanders. I cannot wait. Hell yeah, Super Sunday. I'm so jazzed up this morning. And have a great Sunday. Stay tuned throughout the week. Got a lot of content coming out. Stay tuned. Hit the like, subscribe, share button on my platforms. Talk to you guys soon. Glad you guys like my videos. Keep it going. Adios.